Welcome to the Sacred Light Collective, where we explore our experience as a multidimensional spirit in physical form, balancing being in this world but not of it. My name is Ali, your multidimensional guide, so join me as we co-create our shared experiences, conversations with spirit, all things light language, activations and energy as we remember who we truly are. Hello, my dear Sacred Light Collective family. Hello and welcome to 2024. I am so excited to join you again here on the podcast. And while I expected to be taking a slightly longer break than this, I had such an interesting experience as I posted the last episode for 2023. And I'd already felt the energy shifting of the podcast, like that the energy was changing. But literally, as I hit post on the last episode, I was just filled with this sense of love and gratitude that I had for this podcast, for the Sacred Light Collective, and the energy, the frequency, and the light and love that this podcast holds, that we hold together as a community. And as I reflected on the year that was, and the podcast also reflected back to me this energy of celebration of the year and how much that I had grown and that the podcast had grown. And I had this sense of like starting out and nursing a newborn baby. And now I was almost sending my child off on the first day of school. It was just this deep love for this creation and the love that was reflected back. And honestly, it totally took me by surprise, and it really blew my mind to really feel the energy and the frequency that we are all co-creating here with the Sacred Light Collective. Because this podcast was the vehicle in which I not only got to know myself more deeply, but I saw myself and I allowed myself to be seen and heard and shared with you and co-created with you. So the significance of this was as much about me and my journey as it was about being in service to the energy, the frequency that is the Sacred Light Collective that is born through this podcast. And so all of that might sound a little bit strange, but as I felt into the celebration of this, I really understood why I felt the change coming, the rebirth that was happening within the podcast, and that now I was feeling more ready to fully step into the call of service through this medium of expression, and that both myself and the creation of this collective are maturing. And as I have matured and expanded, it's been again time to answer the call to step up and lead, to share myself more fully, a little bit more again, and to share with more purpose and clarity of the intention of what wants to be birthed and what wants to be expressed through me here. And it's really me allowing or fully surrendering to the divine that's moving through me and with me as part of this community here. This light and love that we are co-creating within and that we are anchoring, we are amplifying and expanding here on the earth plane. So that's what's been really clear, that really this is a vehicle with which we are here to connect, to join together, to become one again, and to amplify and expand the light here on the physical plane. And that this podcast has a way of bringing us together. And each and everything that we do creates a ripple effect. And part of this ripple effect, part of my purpose in supporting the energy themes for us as a collective in 2024 have come through in two clear themes: energy, frequency, and that is empowerment and expansion. Spirit has really been asking of me to open myself more as a conduit, to open myself as the vessel, to share this with you. And it's been so interesting because in this reflection, of my journey, which so many beautiful souls have been with me through the very beginnings of my stumbly first episodes. And that it might surprise you to know, or those that are listening and have been listening for a while, that there's still a part of me that hadn't been fully showing up. And that there were parts of me that I was meeting still myself and needed to see myself so that I could step into more love and acceptance of all of those parts of myself and enable me to bring them through and share them with the world. And so this collective is one way in which I hope that I inspire you to do the same, to show up in the way that you're feeling called, to express yourself fully, completely, in love and acceptance of who you are. And that's really why I want to share, again, this personal experience with you, because this is what 2024 is calling us into. It's really doubling down on calling us into releasing any fear, any doubt, any judgment, perceived or otherwise, to begin to see all parts of ourselves with love and gentle acceptance. And to just simply be with the expression of who we are. And while that's been bubbling around in that latter part of 2023, and I've been speaking into this a little bit, I really feel from my guides and my higher self that there's such a no-nonsense approach, like it's getting firmer, because this is the moment that we're really stepping into who we are. Like it's time to do this. There's no playing half-hearted. There's no playing small. There's not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's time to step in. This is what you came for. Essentially, it's what they're telling me right now. This is what you came for. Roll up the sleeves, you dig in deep, like this is what you came for. Because with this, I get the sense that if we don't step right into life, if we don't really allow ourselves to surrender and be immersed in the experience, the challenges are going to keep popping up and life is going to bring more ways to squeeze us. We're going to feel the squeeze more. And so quite simply, what my higher self continues to share with me is to just let go and allow myself to move into the stream, into the flow of consciousness of life, of allowing and trusting that we've done the shadow work, we've done the heavy lifting, and allow the resistance just to be felt. You don't need to dig through it. Just feel the contraction, the squeeze, or the resistance. Just feel it and hold it and be with the tension of that, because that's all that's needed in those moments. Because in that alone, you are allowing it to be present. You're allowing it to occur. You're allowing it space. And so in the past, a lot of those moments were really encouraging us or pushing us into alignment with flow. But our human self, our ego self, would get caught in the resistance. We'd get stuck in that cycle. We'd tell ourselves we're stuck, that, this is what we deserve, or this is what always happens, or whatever the stories are for you. And then we would get stuck in that place, and that we would miss almost this opening to just allow, to just move with it simply and easily. We kind of made it harder for ourselves, didn't we? And we often still do. But my higher self was just sharing that it's really time to come out of that pattern of resisting the natural flow and becoming aware of this cycle of suffering that we are holding ourselves in, and, needing to find or to have something to work on, to heal or to fix, quote unquote. Like we're really holding ourselves in almost the victim state, in that there must be something here that needs addressing. You're almost not allowing yourself to move forward. And I put my hand up here. Is that something that I have fallen in the trap of over the last 12 months? And that's why I share this, because my higher self has been repetitively sharing this guidance with me about allowing, about simply being with it and allowing it to flow and to move. And it's so interesting because my relationship with inner peace has shifted dramatically. As soon as I started to allow and let go and just surrender to what the experience was, to what the feeling was, to whatever was arising, I was able to also find the well of inner peace within. And that actually shifted so much in my external experience too. So, what I'm really feeling and hearing around this energy is to step out of and away from the seeking mode and to simply be in the being state, the allowing and the flow. And the more we allow ourselves to simply be or to be in the flow, to move with the flow, wherever that's carrying you, even if it doesn't make sense, you just allow it to be. You allow the experience to be showing you where maybe you need to go. Maybe it's time for a change, to align to something new and to accept that, to allow that to happen and to know that it can be effortless. It is effortless. There is ease because there seems to still be this collective programming around that it must be hard. I say it, the journey, the experience must be hard. Everything we do must be hard. The striving. And that is something that we really want to completely switch our understanding around to moving into it can be effortless, there can be ease, rather than looking for the opportunities that counter that and declare that to be untrue. That's the cycle of suffering we keep ourselves caught in, that we must suffer to make, to be successful. We must suffer to reach our goals. We must suffer this life. And that can be a really deep program. So for the most part, we're bringing this into your awareness. We're planting the seed and just allowing this in itself to be part of your state of being. To ask your own higher self, your guides, your team in spirit to show you where this is coming up in life for you, or where you can move through this, where can you allow this, really receiving honestly, truthfully within yourself. That's the first step. And as part of this process, we're also really being drawn to stepping into what we're feeling called to be, to do, or to hold, the frequency, state of being. And so just as I shared, at answering the inner guidance to start this podcast, in just showing up and taking action, even when it was really uncomfortable. I didn't really know where it was going or where it was going to lead me. If you had said to me, like, I'd be sitting here 12 months later having recorded 12 months of episodes, I would have laughed, because I would have never have thought that I would have stuck with it, that it was possible for me, that I would even be able to show up for myself, for you in that way. And so in this showing up for myself and stepping into a part of my expression that felt uncomfortable, it really helped me clarify and align more fully to the ways in which my gifts wanted to be shared and expressed. And, that, as I said, has probably taken me more like 14 or 15 months to fully understand that and to feel fully landed and aligned to what this particular expression of me is here in service of. But that now feels empowering to me. It's given me confidence in the structure, confidence in the showing up and what wants to be shared. And now when I hear that guidance that says, we want you to bring more, we want you to share more, we want you to be more vulnerable, there's such a big part of me that feels ready for that feels I can do that. That's putting its hand up within me and saying, yes, that's what we're here for. So with all that being said, I would just love to share with you the focus for season 2 for the Sacred Light Collective, because it's really about supporting you to feel empowered to expand. So through continuing to share my soul musings, my personal experiences, in the hope that it inspires you, gives you some, food for thought, plants some seeds, We are also going to tap into the themes that are coming through the community, my session work, so that we can expand on some of that too. And coming into the energy themes of what may be present for us in each of the calendar months. And that's really to support navigating ultimately your own personal experience and expansion, and to support you in tapping into your inner resources, for you to come in and really meet and know yourself more deeply, and to know that you can do this for yourself day in, day out. Along, of course, with conversations with spirit, my higher self really wants to, her voice really wants to come forward this year with activations, with energy transmissions, again, supporting, empowering us to move through our experience with a real focus on remembering our sovereignty. Big key theme this year is also stepping into our sovereignty, our creative responsibility, our creative accountability, that we really are responsible for creating our reality. So I'm so excited, my dear friends, to bring you more of me and more of what wants to be expressed through me. And to build on this community, to build on this beautiful network of light workers, of grid workers, of beautiful souls lighting up across the planet, and to share, like to walk arm in arm in this journey together in the remembering of who we truly are. So thank you for joining me. And if you are new, thank you for coming into the collective, into the light, the sacred light. And as I leave you now with honoring the light, the love, the divinity within me, that honors the light, the love, the divinity within you. Namaste.